Despite being a hardcore, semi-interested, or even a casual boxing fan, you would have noticed that the sport is at times characterized by trash talking. You see, the art of trash talking can be defined as making a boastful or insulting remark in order to demoralize or to humiliate a sporting opponent. Now, fighters use trash talking as a means of intimidation, belittlement, harassment, and in some cases nothing but straight disrespect. This might be to gain some clout before a major fight, or just to secure their bag by increasing pay-per-view tickets. And sadly for some other fighters, they have nothing better else to do with their boxing careers. And oftentimes we have seen the art of trash talking to be an effective way to get into the minds of their opponents, whilst for some, unfortunately, their opponents have made them completely regret doing it in the first place. The matchup between Shane Mosley and Ricardo Mayorga was certainly an unforgettable fight, which had you questioning whether the fighters were putting up a WWE performance to better sell the fight. And at the end, the fight clearly showed that trash talking was not always the favourable option. Now for the first fight, the American Shane Mosley was set to face the Nicaraguan fighter for the WBA light middleweight title in September 2008. And this is how the fight went down.
Fighting down the stretch of the fight by Shane Mosley. A brilliant fourth round. And he puts So it took a while, but Shane Mosley came up with some of that old 12th round magic. And he knocked him down again to finish the fight.
Yeah, my guy got finished. And from this day, Mayorga took this personally and swore to himself that he'd avenge Mosley. Now we fast forward to the second fight in August 2015. And now this time around, Ricardo woke up that day with a different type of energy and willingly chose violence.
Personalmente pegarle al dueño de la empresa.
He said that he would like to personally thank the new promoter, Trista, and that he'd like to really show her how it's done.
Guarde en 3 minutos, que es un round suficiente para ganarle.
He said he's going to fight with him for 3 rounds if he's valiant enough to make it for 3 rounds. If not, he'll just knock him out in the first. So that his son, St. Jr., can pick him up after the fight and help him up.
Papá, finito ya, no más papá.
You're not going to have a dad anymore.
Ya, que se dedique solo a ser promotor de boxeo, ya no más boxeador.
He can just be a promoter after, he won't be a boxer anymore.
Te voy a pesar 158 para matarte.
He's going to weigh 158 pounds to kill him.
Yo te voy a matar a ti.
He's going to kill him.
Now, not only did he say he would literally obliterate and kill the guy right in front of his girlfriend, Ricardo also extended his disrespect to Mosley's girlfriend by doing the most unimaginable thing.
There you go.
What's going on here?
I don't know about you, but if you have a pair of fully functioning ears, you would have quickly realized where the epicenter of that sound shockwave originated from. And if not, the man literally slapped the girlfriend's backside right in front of him during a press conference. Talk about the disrespect. Now Mosley saw red, and at that very moment, Ricardo realized he had messed up.
That fight. And the fight was in doubt for 5 or 6 rounds.
Couple of stiff jabs.
Got 240-somethings in here who both appear weary and maybe...
And down goes... He's not going to get up. And that's it.
The New Zealander, also nicknamed the Mountain Warrior, Shane Cameron called out David Chua for the WBO Pacific Heavyweight title. Now, after a few months of going back and forth and agreeing dates and the money being offered, Cameron's team finally agreed for a split purse of $500,000 for the fight to take place in June 2009. And just only a few months before the fight, Cameron had broken his hand during a warm-up fight against Robert Davis earlier that March and would require surgery to his hand. And this would unfortunately postpone the fight until the fall of that year in October.
You know, I want to be ready for some action. I'll be ready to go 1 round or whether it goes 12 rounds.
What's your pick?
I want to stop this man inside the distance.
David?
Respectfully, I believe this will be Shane's last fight. I'm really going to hurt you. You know, and I just appreciate you for allowing me that opportunity. I really do.
Interestingly enough, this matchup was not only characterized by both fighters going back and forth, but also their trainers getting in some of the action as well, talking trash to the highest level.
The trainers were talking trash as well.
There's a little bullet here on the end of my keychain. We know the boy's got some big guns, but the idea is that he fires the bullets.
Lee's talking about his bullets, but look at this, it's got lights on, little lights on it. I'll tell you what's going to happen, it's going to be lights out. For David Tour, that's what's going to happen.
Both sides were quite detailed in explaining what would happen in the fight, and it also seems as if Cameron as well as his entire team were 1000% confident that they'll take the victory over David Tua and his team. Let's just see how that played out.
He's one of the very best referees in the world. Oh, he caught him! And he got him again! Shane's ready to go! And he's down in round number from this!
He's trying to get up too quick.
Trying to jab. Gets hit again with a right hand. Left hook. He's not going to last this round. David's all over. He's pumping him. The referee stops the fight. It's all over. A second round knockout victory. And Shane is hurt. That shows you David Tua.
The matchup between Bernard Hopkins and Joe Smith Jr. might possibly be the craziest fighting bout in this entire video, and whenever you think of the term trash talking, this fight should instantly come to your mind. The former light heavyweight champion Hopkins had come off a loss to Sergey Kovalev, which relinquished both his WBA and IBF titles in 2014. Now 2 years later, Hopkins looked to end his near 30-year boxing legacy with a farewell fight against Smith Jr. With the official date set for the 17th of December and also a reported purse of $800,000, the fight was underway. Now, during a press conference a few days before the fight, Hopkins had just a few words to say to his opponent, and this is what he said.
We ain't gonna preach, but we're just gonna talk about common. Special. Common. Common man. Special man. But what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to spank him, teach him his ABCs, and then send him back to Long Island up the road from Philadelphia. And then one day, if he recovers mentally, then he might have something to savage. See, that's what I'm about. I'm a career stopper to most of my opponents that talk like him. Common. You won't be special come Saturday.
Well, he didn't have a few words to say. He had a hell of a lot to say. The man nearly spent 10 entire minutes talking wicked to the poor man, knowing fully well that this was his last fight. I mean, Hopkins really just wanted to end his career with a bang, but he did take it overboard, and let's just see how that worked out for him.
Suggested to Hopkins 2 possible opponents.
Big right hand. He's out.
Oh, outrage. Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh.
That's crazy.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Praise Joe Smith Jr.
The Canadian David Lemieux and American Curtis Stevens were scheduled to fight for the WBO Intercontinental Middleweight title in March 2017. Stevens, also known as the Cerebral Assassin, was the former WBC title holder and was also the challenger for the scheduled main card event on HBO. The current matchup between both fighters really highlighted that the art of trash talking simply does not come naturally for some people, and I personally think that this was a prime example of that brutal reality. Now, after a press conference in Montreal, a journalist had interviewed Stevens asking him what the viewers should expect during the fight, and listen closely to what the Cerebral Assassin had to say.
Last question, Curtis. What's the message? What's the direct message to David Lemieux before the fight? What can he expect from the Cerebral Assassin?
Oh, pain. Pain. You know one of them toothaches?
What?
You ever had a bad toothache that you didn't go get taken out just or you had a surgery?
Boy, if you...
And then give you no medicines to help you cope with it? One of them type of pains. Pain that's, you need something to come in your body to take it away. A straight pain, though.
Yeah, you heard that correctly. My man said that he'll inflict pain similar to that of a lingering toothache. A damn toothache. Is that what you can say? Is that the best trash talk you... Alright, run the clip.
They are putting on a show out of Lemieux.
The confidence that certain fighters possess to trash talk to their opponents on national TV is honestly astounding, whether or not the intention was to gain some clout before the fight or to secure a bigger paycheck. Regardless of the intention, at the end of the day, it does not always exactly matter what was said or how it was said. And as far as the sport is concerned, all that really matters is what happens inside of the ring. Whether you are punished for inappropriately disrespecting your opponent's lady, or getting beat up as a result of what your coaching staff said during a press conference, or embarrassingly getting rocked so hard by a punch that sent you flying outside of the ring. And as the famous saying goes, it's either you talk the talk, or you simply don't. Thank you all for tuning into this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.